Hello there, pretty people of the internet, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Annika, and today I'm going to do a spoiler-free review of The Vegetarian. Before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's commented and watched and liked and subscribed after my last two videos. It really means the world to me to be welcomed into the booktube community with such overwhelmingly positive responses and just the love and the joys. My heart is so full, so thank you to everyone, all of you, every single one. You guys are great. So I finished reading The Vegetarian yesterday, and it's the type of book that I was reading it on the tube on my way to meet a group of friends, and I was a bit early, so I sat at the tube station. I just walked off and sat down and continued reading until I finished it, and then I just had to sit there for half an hour before I went to meet my friends because I just needed to process everything that had just happened. The Vegetarian is a South Korean book written by Han Kang, and it's about Hyun Hye, I'm really bad with these names, who lives quite an ordinary life with her husband until she starts having nightmares. And after having these nightmares, she's absolutely disgusted by meat, so she decides to stop eating meat and any animal products and byproducts completely. And she keeps on having these nightmares, and she falls into herself. And it's not just her diet that changes, but her whole mindset and her whole life just disintegrates, basically. It's a very easily read book. It's just 180 pages or something, but at the same time it's very dense and very dark in the sense that there's so much to it. At least for me, there was a lot to it, a lot between the lines, and a lot that had to be digested properly. The book contains a lot of violence, a lot of blood, a lot of sort of disgusting scenes and images, domestic violence, rape and abuse abuse towards others and to yourself, or to oneself, eating disorders. It basically has like every trigger warning ever. I don't know how to describe how it deals with it, because it does and it doesn't. I think the book is very honest in the way that it describes things. Like, the characters aren't, but the author in the book is very straightforward and raw. It sort of present things, like things that happened, and then you sort of deal with it on your own. It's interesting because the book it's mainly about this one woman, but it's never written from her perspective. It's written from her husband's, her brother-in-law's, and her sister's perspective. So you never know her exact thoughts, really. Sometimes you know her dreams, but nothing more than that. So everything you know about her, you know through other people. It sort of puts that perspective and lens on it, but they all have very different perspectives on this woman, and very different attitudes and very different things they want from her and from their relationship with her, and things they want her to be and to do. And you also get to know a lot more about these three other characters that are essential to the story, without it feeling forced or superficial in any kind of way. I think I would categorize the book as definitely like an adult fiction novella book, but also very like psychological. It's not a psychological thriller, but it sort of like touches on that realm. Also surreal fiction, like it's not a surreal fiction book, but it has elements of it in it, if that makes any sense. There was a lot in this book that I could relate a lot to, which made it very difficult and beautiful and important for me to read it. I am also a vegan. She is a vegan, even though the book is called The Vegetarian, but I am guessing that there isn't a Korean word for it because it's so not common in South Korean society, which is sort of one of the whole parts of the book, is about how she's alienated from society and from other people because of her diet. But I also have a lot of nightmares and a lot of dreams, like she has, that have a large impact on me and on my life. not to the extent that she has, but it still matters. It's a difficult book to talk about. You can't really just talk about the plot. It's about everything that happens psychologically with the characters. But it is absolutely brilliant. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It's the type of writing that I really, really like. I also like reading a lot of East Asian books. It's just, for me, it's like a fresh perspective. The characters are different. The writing style is different. And I would totally recommend that to anyone who's looking to read some adult fiction but want something a bit different. I've read a lot of like Norwegian adult fiction in my life, and I think it's horribly boring. That's not the case for a lot of the East Asian authors I've read. If you read anything by Haruki Murakami or Hiromi Kawakami, both Japanese authors, by Haruki Murakami, like IQ84, Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World, Kafka on the Shore, Norwegian Wood, or Strange Weather in Tokyo, I think you would really like The Vegetarian. If you read them and liked them, I think you would really like The Vegetarian. Absolutely beautiful and grotesque book. It says on the back, a description that I feel is very good, is that The Vegetarian is a darkly allegorical Kafkaesque tale of power, obsession, and one woman's struggle to break free from the violence both outside and within her. It's just beautiful, strong, easily read, but it's easy to read, but it's hard to put down and it's hard to move on from. Like, I don't really know what to read next because I feel like I'm not ready. So yeah, I hope that gave you some great insights into the book. I feel like I can't really talk more about the plot without revealing much more than I should in a spoiler-free review. But it is absolutely beautiful. It's very heavy. I would recommend it to almost anyone who I think would be able to deal with these things. I don't necessarily think that everyone else are gonna love it as much as I did. Well, I know for a fact that not everyone else are. But I think most people will get something out of it. So if you want to read something new, something a bit different, definitely pick up The Vegetarian. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz if you feel like it's worth it. Also, I would like to know in the comments down below if you have a book that has made like a very strong impact on you and your life, if you have certain characters that you've related to very well, or if you have certain scenes from a book that you just can't get out of your mind and constantly come back to. I'd love to know, and maybe I can read it as well and see what I think, because I love new book recommendations all the time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!